She thought she had you wrapped around her finger, that no matter what she did, ignoring your texts, pulling away, playing hot and cold, you'd always be there, waiting, hoping, trying to prove your worth. But here's what she never saw coming: you waking up. See, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop reacting, the moment you go completely silent, that's when she feels it. Not when you argue, not when you beg, not when you try to explain how much she hurt you. No. She feels it when she realizes she no longer has access to you. She thought she could play her little games forever, but guess what? Games only work when both players show up. And you're out. No more running in circles. No more falling for the same excuses. No more letting her decide when and how you matter. Because now, she doesn't get a say. She won't see it coming. She expects you to fight, to try, to hold on. But when you disappear without a word, when you level up so hard that she becomes nothing but a memory, that's when the panic sets in. That's when she realizes she lost something real. And by the time it hits her, you'll be too far ahead to even care. Stay with me, because today we're flipping the script. But before we go deeper, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me. All right, if you're ready, let's get started. The strongest move you'll ever make: walking away without a sound. She expected drama. She expected long, emotional messages. She expected you to beg, to fight, to explain yourself. She thought you'd break, that you'd come running the second she pulled away. But what happens when you give her nothing? Imagine a magician performing the same trick over and over, making a coin disappear, then bringing it back. At first, the audience watches, but after a while, it's predictable, it's unimpressive. Then one night, in the middle of his act, the magician tosses the coin into the air and walks away. No explanation, no final reveal, just gone. And suddenly that little coin, it's the only thing they can think about. That's exactly what happens when you remove yourself from her life, without warning, without closure, without a single word. She didn't value you when she had easy access to you. She assumed you'd always be there, waiting, responding, proving. But the moment you go completely silent, that's when the panic sets in. Because people don't regret losing you when you cry for them. They don't feel it when you beg, when you try to explain, when you try to make them understand. No, they regret losing you when they realize they can never reach you again. She'll check her phone. Nothing. She'll post something just to see if you react. Silence. She'll test the waters, throw out a weak hey, and for the first time, she won't get a response. And that's when it hits her. And that's when it hits her. She thought she had you figured out. Thought she could push, pull, disappear, reappear, and you'd always be there, waiting, hoping, responding. But here's what she never understood. Her game only worked because you played along. She ignored your texts, you double texted. She disappeared for days, you made excuses and forgave. She sent a lazy hey after ghosting you, you replied instantly like nothing ever happened. And every single time, you proved to her that she could treat you however she wanted, and you'd still be there. She never had to try. Never had to show up fully, never had to truly commit, because you made it easy. But what happens when you stop? What happens when you finally step back and refuse to play? Imagine standing in front of a claw machine at an arcade. You keep putting in coins, keep trying to grab the prize, but every time, the claw lets go. It's frustrating, but you keep playing. Why? Because you almost had it. That's her game. She gives you just enough to keep you hooked, just enough to make you think you're close, but she never lets you win. And the moment you finally walk away, The moment you refuse to keep trying, something shifts. Suddenly, you're the prize. Because now, she's the one standing there, wondering why her old tricks don't work anymore. She'll test you. She'll throw out a random text, maybe like one of your posts, just to see if she still has you on the hook. But this time, you don't bite. And that's when she realizes the game is over. And that's when she realizes the game is over. But that doesn't mean she won't try again, because now she's testing you. She doesn't miss you. She misses the control. She misses knowing that with just a simple hey, she could pull you right back in. That with a random like on your post, she could make you wonder, overthink, hope. She's not lying awake at night regretting how she treated you. She's just checking to see if you're still available. And every time you respond, even just once, you prove to her that she still has access to you. That she can put in zero effort and still get your time, your energy, your attention. No real apology, no change, just a half-hearted check-in to see if you're still there. Imagine you're a vending machine. Every time she pushes a button, she gets exactly what she wants. No effort required, no appreciation, just instant gratification. But what happens when the machine stops working? At first, she taps it, tries again, maybe even kicks it out of frustration. But eventually, she walks away. She walks away because she only valued you when you didn't require effort. She only wanted you when she didn't have to earn you. And the moment she realizes that you're no longer free access, that's when she starts to feel it. So from now on, if she doesn't come correct, she doesn't come in at all. Before we dive into lesson number 4, we'd like to take a moment to thank you for staying with us halfway through this video journey. In every moment, we can learn and grow. And the fact that you are here listening and reflecting with us is a tremendous gift that I cherish every minute. To help us spread these valuable lessons to even more people, please hit the like and share buttons for this video. Each share is a small but meaningful act, much like the timeless lessons Stoicism offers. Let's continue exploring and embracing these everlasting pieces of wisdom together. Once again, thank you for your continued support. So from now on, if she doesn't come correct, she doesn't come in at all. And trust me, when she realizes you're not playing along anymore, she's gonna feel it, because she remembers how it used to be. How no matter what she did, ignored your messages, took hours, even days to respond, kept you guessing, you were always there, always reaching out, always trying, always keeping the connection alive. But now, it's her turn to feel what that's like. Imagine standing outside in the freezing cold, knocking on a door, waiting for someone to let you in. You knock again. No answer. You wait, shivering, convincing yourself, maybe they didn't hear me. So you knock again. Still nothing. At some point, the cold becomes unbearable. So you do the only thing you can. You walk away. That's exactly what she's going to feel when she reaches out and you're no longer there. She'll check her phone, expecting your usual response, expecting you to still care, expecting you to still be waiting, but all she gets is silence. And at first, she won't believe it. She'll try again. Maybe a casual "how have you been?" Maybe a fake apology, just vague enough to see if you'll take the bait. But when you don't respond, that's when it hits her. This isn't revenge. This isn't a game. This is balance. This is you finally respecting yourself enough to stop chasing someone who left you in the cold. This isn't revenge. This isn't a game. This is balance. This is you finally respecting yourself enough to stop chasing someone who left you in the cold. And now, It's time to take things even further, because nothing makes them suffer more than realizing you're not just gone, you're untouchable. She thought you'd be stuck, thought you'd be waiting, replaying old memories, hoping she'd come back, thought she had time. But what she never saw coming, your transformation. You hit the gym, not to make her jealous, but to feel strong in your own skin. You chase your dreams, not to impress her, but to build a life that excites you. You upgrade your mindset, your confidence, your entire energy, not because you want her back, but because you finally see your own worth. And the best part? One day, out of nowhere, she'll check. Maybe she'll hear about you from a friend. Maybe she'll scroll through your profile, expecting to see the same person she left behind. But instead, she'll see someone she can never have again. And that's when it'll hit her. Not when you cried, not when you begged, not when you tried to make her understand, but when she realizes she's no longer even a thought in your world. By then, you won't even care. By then, you won't even care. And that's exactly why you don't owe her a single word. She never explained why she pulled away, never gave you a real reason for the mixed signals, the disappearing acts, the way she treated you like an option. She just expected you to deal with it. So tell me, why do you feel the need to explain yourself now? She didn't sit you down and say, "Hey, just so you know, I'm about to stop answering your text for no reason." She didn't give you closure. She didn't care how it made you feel. She just walked away and expected you to accept it. So now, you do the same. Imagine watching a movie, completely invested, waiting for the big reveal, the moment everything makes sense, and then, out of nowhere, the screen fades to black. No explanation, no resolution, just gone. Your mind races, you rewind, trying to piece it together. What happened? Did I miss something? You keep thinking about it because the mind hates unfinished stories. And that's exactly what happens when you disappear without a word. She expects you to explain, to send that long message about how much she hurt you, to give her one last conversation so she can justify her actions, feel better about herself, and walk away guilt-free. But you don't give her that luxury, because if words could make her care, she would have cared while you were still there. So you let her wonder, let her replay everything in her mind, let the silence do the talking, because silence speaks louder than explanations ever will. Because silence speaks louder than explanations ever will. And now you take it even further. You don't just go silent, you erase her access completely. See, even if you're not talking to her, she still feels your energy. She knows you're watching. She knows you still think about her. She knows she still occupies space in your mind. And that's why she doesn't regret losing you, because in her mind, she hasn't. She posts something, and a part of her wonders, did he see this? She throws out a random text, fully expecting you to respond. Maybe not right away, but eventually. She believes deep down you're still there. But the second you go completely silent, the moment she realizes she has zero access to your emotions, that's when the panic sets in. She'll check her messages. Nothing. She'll post something just to see if you react. Silence. She'll go through her followers, wondering if you're still watching her life unfold, but you're gone. That's when it gets real for her. Not when you argue, not when you beg, not when you try to prove your worth, but when she realizes she no longer exists in your world. So from now on, you stop checking, you stop reacting, you stop caring. Because nothing will haunt her more than knowing that the man who once gave her everything has now given her nothing. because nothing will haunt her more than knowing that the man who once gave her everything has now given her nothing. And that's exactly why she will come back. Not because she's changed, not because she suddenly realized your worth, but because she wants to see if she still has access. She'll test the waters, maybe a random "how have you been?" Maybe a fake apology, just convincing enough to make you hesitate. Maybe she'll even tell you she misses you. Don't fall for it. She played with you once. That's all she gets. She assumed she could leave, disappear when it was convenient, then waltz back in like nothing happened. She thought the door would always be open, but not this time. Because the moment you let her back in, she wins. She knows she can hurt you, walk away, ignore you for weeks, months, and still, you'll take her back. And once she knows that, she'll never truly respect you. So when she knocks, when she tries to slip back into your life like she never left, she finds nothing but silence. And that's when she'll finally understand. She lost you forever. And that's when she'll finally understand. She lost you forever. But here's the truth. You don't even need her to understand. You don't need her regret. You don't need her guilt. You don't need her to wake up one day and realize she made a mistake. Because the ultimate revenge is to stop caring altogether. Not when you cry, not when you beg, not when you try to make her see how much she hurt you. No, she doesn't feel it then. Because as long as you're reacting, as long as you're still invested, she still has power. She wanted your emotions, love, anger, frustration. It didn't matter. Because if you're still thinking about her, if she can still get a rise out of you, she still exists in your world. But the second she becomes irrelevant, the second you hear her name and feel nothing, the second she realizes she's not even a passing thought in your mind, that's when she truly suffers. Because people don't regret losing you when you're hurting. They regret losing you when they realize they can never reach you again. And by the time she figured that out, you'll be too busy winning to even notice. No more chasing. No more proving, no more being an option. She thought she had figured it out, thought she could leave, come back, play with your emotions, and you'd always be there. But the second you stopped caring, the game ended. She starts to suffer not when you beg, not when you explain, but when she realizes she's completely lost access to you. No more reactions, no more chances, no more you. And by the time it all sinks in, by the time she understands what she threw away, you'll be too far ahead to even notice. So remember, your silence is your power. Your growth is your revenge. Your indifference is the lesson she'll never forget. Now go build the life she will only get to watch from a distance. Thanks for being with Stoic Heart on this journey today. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. We'd love to hear your thoughts or suggestions for future topics, so drop a comment below. See you in the next video.